joint signing of the MOU and the LPWC. First of all, I'd like to thank the Congressman for coming and helping us with the problem with the levies. I also want to thank the county judge who is here. Seldom that he comes to the city, but he's here.
I live here, I have to work in Edinburgh.
He forgets, but he lives on the side of the town over there. And I'm going to start by introducing our congressman, that he's got a few things to say. I want to thank him for all the things he's done for Mission, and this is one of the things that is going to help Mission quite a bit. And we've had to struggle with this problem for many years, and hopefully now, today, we can sign an instrument that's going to help us. Congressman.
Thank you. I want to thank the mayor, and thank you for hosting us here, Mayor. And I want to thank the mayor for being such an advocate. He knows that this signing ceremonies will be very important because they will have a ripple effect. I certainly want to thank Ruben Hinojosa. I know Congressman, my colleague, can't be here. His wife just had surgery, so he couldn't be here. He did send a statement, and I'll read a statement in a few minutes on his behalf. I certainly want to thank, of course, J.D. Salinas, our county judge, the commissioner also for being here also, Mr. Palacios, the county, because they took the first effort to get this job started. Carlos Marin, I want to thank Carlos. Carlos, as Kino, Flores, and myself were talking a few minutes ago, we are very, very happy that the president appointed this man as the commissioner for the International Boundary Wire Commission. He's been very understanding, and we really appreciate that. Of course, Kino, my former colleague at the State House, we thank you because both you and the mayor and the other officials here have been pushing very hard to make sure that the federal government takes responsibility for the levies, because it is a federal responsibility. But what's key here, in order to get this as a catalyst, the county passed the bond issue, went ahead and took the first steps, and this is why we're here to start this process. Today, as we commit here in the Rio Grande, which serves as the southwest border of the United States, we understand that the levees serve to protect our communities from flooding. In Hidalgo County, all the levees are owned and maintained by the International Boundary Water Commission. Also, at the same time, as you understand, FEMA is under a 5-year plan to remap the floodplains throughout the country as part of the map modernization project. FEMA is assessing all the levees to ensure adequate flood protection is provided. Currently, a significant portion of the levees in Hidalgo County cannot be certified by the IBWC to FEMA. FEMA's new maps will extend the floodplain, and this is why today is very important. This will require a large portion of Hidalgo County residents and businesses to purchase flood insurance if the levee protection is not adequate. This literally will cost millions and millions and millions of dollars to the residents and to the businesses in Hidalgo County. If the improvements are not made, a large portion of Hidalgo County will be placed in the flood zone. This morning, I think the mayor did a great job at explaining the impact it would have. The McAllen area, of course, we're talking about areas like the International Trade Zone would be 100% in the flood zone. So this is why today is a very important day. Today, and then plus, as you know, in the House of Representatives, Ruben Hinojosa, myself, and the Border Caucus were able to add $15.5 million for levee work. And as we said, Carlos Marin, Mr. Commissioner, this is for South Texas and not for California or anywhere legislative intent. The Senate added about $10 million, and we're hoping that the Senate will agree with the House side and go up to the 15.5. This is only a start. We still got a lot more because it will cost over $100 million, but this will be a start to go on. Today, the federal government, the International Boundary Water Commission and the Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1 will be entering into a memorandum of understanding to ensure the required improvements are made to the levees in Hidalgo County. As you know, what this means is that this will allow Hidalgo County, the drainage system, to make the improvements to 12 miles of levees maintained and operated by the IBWC in order to attain certification. The 12 miles of levees will run basically from Benitez to the Anzaldúa Dam. The agreement demonstrates how the federal government can work with the local government in partnership to make sure that we ensure the safety of the communities. And I think by working together here, we certainly will see the efforts of a partnership, a strong partnership, the state, the local, the federal government, to make sure that we provide the safety for our citizens, our residents that we have here. I know that this took a lot of work. I know Godfrey and both the county, JD, Salinas, and other folks here have traveled up to El Paso to meet with the commissioner. I know that the commissioner has been down here many a times, but it took a lot of effort, and again, we're here, and this is a big step. I think the county judge will talk about a meeting that we had with FEMA. It was a meeting that we put together. As you know, as the chairman of a committee that I chair in the Homeland Security, FEMA is under my jurisdiction, and I certainly, as the chairman, I'm going to make sure that we do the right things and make sure that FEMA does the right thing as they do this. And I think we got some verbal commitments, and I'll have the judge talk about those verbal commitments. We're going to get those in writing from FEMA, because I think once we get those agreements in writing, I think this will be a very important step to making sure that we save the residents and the businesses millions and millions and millions of insurance. So at this time, I would like to, I know I have a statement here from Congressman Ruben Hinojosa, but if you would allow me to summarize this, it's basically, as you know, his wife had some surgery, and we sent our prayers to him and to his wife and to the family. And at the same time, as I mentioned, both Congressman Hinojosa, myself, and the other congressman, we got together, and on one appropriation bill, we pretty much said, forget about the other earmarks. This is what we want in this appropriation bill. And as you know, we did get the $15.5 million by working together. And again, I pledge that I'll continue working with the congressman to make sure that we get the process started. At this time, what I will do is that since Congressman Ruben Hinojosa is not able to be here for the reasons I've mentioned, I will go ahead and have Representative Kino Flores come up here and say a few words, and then we'll have JD Salinas, and then Carlos Marin, and then Godfrey Garza, and then we'll have the signing ceremony at this time. So if I could have the state representative, Mr. Flores, join us up here.
Thank you, Congressman, Mayor Salinas, and those of you in the audience. Thank you for joining us on this joyous moment. You know, all of us have some way, shape, or form been involved at the very beginning when Mayor Salinas first brought the issue up, and Commissioner, then interim commissioner visited with us, and we took a drive down to the levee and realized that the problem was that when I first started serving and got elected at the same time that Mayor Salinas, and, you know, the projects that he brings forward are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. The first one was just designate mission, the homeless breakthrough, and now it's go fix the levees. And luckily we've been able to team up with some people, and that's what this whole thing is about, ladies and gentlemen. It's about finding a problem and then finding the key ingredients to make sure that you get this thing done, because a lot of times we get bogged down in a situation, well, I can do it. Well, it's not a matter of can I do it, it's can you put together the right ingredients to make sure that you can accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. And that's what we were able to do here in Mission, is find that we had a problem, and then try to find some answers, and then take it to the right people. We went to Commissioner's Court, we went to IWBC, we went to Godfrey, we went, and the latest one that the judge will talk about here is that everybody has to help, and everybody has to have the courage to say, I've reached my limit, I got to give it to the next person so the next person can get it along. And we're here, you know, we're going to accomplish our goal. We're going to accomplish our goal because, as the mayor put it very, very, very well 3 years ago, is if this thing goes, the entire Rio Grande Valley is going to go. And look what it's going to do to forget the safety. I have just come off of serving on the Homeland Security at a national level. And one of the concerns at the national level was, well, if you want to open up the borders and if you really want to attack America, is you contaminate the river, you bust a levee, and you've got chaos in Texas. And that's something that when I got back, I mean, that's something that the mayor was already talking about. And I'm just glad that we were able to find a willing commissioner's court, a willing county judge, a interim commissioner who the president saw fit to appoint as the commissioner, who has been with us and who has the courage to say, I'm going to fix this, and as long as I'm here, yo lo voy a hacer, you know. So with that, I just, you know, I want to thank everybody that was involved in contributing to getting us to this point. And I'm going to stop there because the sooner we sign the agreement, the sooner we can go to work. Thank you all so much.
Welcome and good morning. This is a result of commissioners, Beto Salinas, I call him commissioners, I started working with in 1991. He had 2 weeks ago, he had an accountability session and trying to give us a history of what some of his project. And in there was when Doggy was here and Kino was here and he was pushing this item forward. Well, Commissioner Palacios has also been working on this project and he's here with us today. And, I'd like for you to please welcome our County Commissioner Precinct 2, Commissioner Tito Palacios. You know, I'd like to first of all thank the taxpayers. In November, you all passed a $100 million bond issue of your money to try to see if we can pass this, fix some of these problems. As you know, $10 million of that was supposed to be to the levies. But we have gotten to maybe having to reinvest more money into our levies. We feel that's a priority and things we have to do. In order for the economy to thrive in South Texas and Hidalgo County, we need to make sure we fix our levies. Congressman Cuellar, thank you for your hard work. Especially on July 11th when you called FEMA, IBWC, and U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Commissioner Marin and Commissioner Palacios and I went over there and talked to everybody in the same room. At least we got out of there with some kind of commitment that we would work together to try to fix the levees, not have mandatory flood insurance, so we had a plan going. And also, the release of the maps would not be September 30th because of lack of data and not for any other reason but that. But they were committed to working together on this project. This is a momentous occasion. Never has the Hidalgo County Drainage District or IBWC worked on the levees together. This instrument will allow us to improve our levee system, which is in 2003, has reports showed that the hydraulic capacity and the structural integrity was in danger. The levee system, which was created in the IBWC levee system, which was created through the Protection Rio Grande Valley, has been improved 3 times in its history. One in 1950, and one in 1958, and 1967 after 2 floods. This now with $15.5 million or more, which Congressman Cuellar has been working hard on. And the Senate side has got $10 million, but we're trying to see if we can get our ID math and add those 2 numbers together and see if we can get more money. Chairman Hollis, with your help on the Senate side, maybe we can get that going. We will try to see if IBWC would have the biggest authority financially in the history of its existence. So thanks, Congressman, for your hard work in Washington, D.C., and also for the taxpayers, like I said, for giving the bond issue the authority for the Hidalgo County Drainage District and IBWC to help our economy in this area. The MOU, what will it do? Allow non-federal money to work on a federal levy. It also will follow IBWC protocols, and that's important because in order for it to be certified by IBWC and also accepted by FEMA, it needs to be in IBWC's protocols. So today, we'll sign a momentous agreement that will allow us to work on our levies and put our destiny in our own hands. And make sure that we work together with the federal government, hand in hand, and make sure that we have the destiny of our own hands and not in the federal government, which I know they have other responsibilities and other priorities sometimes. It's taken a lot of hard work to get to this point, and I know a lot of people have worked before me, but it's only me at this point right here that they hold me accountable to make sure that this work gets done. Thanks again, Commissioner Marin, Congressman Cuellar, Kino, Chairman, thank you. Mayor Salinas, thank you for hosting us in the City of Mission. Commissioner Tito Palacios, thanks again for your leadership, Commissioner's Court, and helping Commissioner Marin find the sunny South Texas, and Rio Grande Valley. Without further ado, I'd like Carlos Marin to give us a little update.
First of all, thank you all for having me here. Again, I think there's a lot of need in this area for flood protection. Again, you're susceptible to hurricanes. Even one of the stories I told, you don't even have to have a rain here in this area. I mean, you can have months of cloud-free skies, but there's a tropical depression or a heavy rain in the San Juan River Basin in Mexico, you could have flooding here. So there's a lot of factors that influence, I guess, the way of life and your safety and health in this area too, that doesn't affect you directly, but the effect would come from someone else. Back in, as the judge mentioned, the last time we worked on the levees here was in 1967, after the Beulah flood. And since then, the federal government hasn't really invested any funding in keeping those levees to the right elevation that they're supposed to. So again, undertaking this project, this partnership with the county, I think we can start that process, and as funding becomes available from Congress, we will invest that funding in making sure that the levees in the area are taken care of. We have all the studies done. There's no need for any further studies that need to determine what needs to be done in this area. There's areas of the levees that we might have to basically destroy and rebuild because of their weak foundation or their weak composition. And there's areas that we just have to raise, put them to the flood elevation, 100-year flood elevation. Again, there's vegetation that has grown in the floodway, and now we have to manage due to the environmental issues. So that has a bit of an effect, but not very much. But still, there's a lot of other considerations that we have to take in place because of change conditions and change times, of course. We have already, we've already invested about $5 million in the Hidalgo hike and bike trail. We did 5 miles of levees working with the city of Hidalgo. They were proposing to build a hike and bike trail in that area, but it didn't make sense for them to build it. We have to destroy it and then have to build it again. So we got into a partnership there. That was our first partnership there, and everything has worked out fine. That work has been completed already. And then we've got, in our plan, we have 6 different priority areas. Of course, the area that the Congressman mentioned from Penitas to Ansel Lewis is one of the priority areas that we will look into and take care of immediately. Godfrey, Garza, and their contractors are already working on the design of that. So as soon as the funding is there, then that part of the contract can be implemented and the work started immediately. Again, one of the, not only is the issue about flood control or flood protection, but of course the FEMA issue. That is a whole new issue all up and down the river. I mean, we're dealing with it all the way from New Mexico to the Gulf of Mexico. And we do have the responsibility of the levees all up and down the U.S.-Mexican border and part of the New Mexico levee system on the Rio Grande. So we're looking to take care of that, all that reach, again, within the minimum amount of time. And again, with all the help from the congressmen, the senators, not only here in Texas, but also in New Mexico, I think they're getting together and making sure that the Rio Grande has, somebody pays attention to it and the funding is put in that place. So I'm very happy to be part of this program here. I'm happy to join the county in signing that MOU so that we can get the work going and the necessary, again, material study, not studies, but drawings and construction contracts issued so that this work can be done as soon as possible. So thank you for having me here, and again, I can assure you that I will do everything possible in my effort and my ability to address this issue for the valley, because again, as it was mentioned, I don't think it's a matter of when. If that it won't happen. It will happen one of these days. We will have a hurricane, and then hopefully we can address the issue before it happens and not have any major damage in the communities here. Thank you.
Again, I'd like to thank everybody for being here for this MOU. You've heard tremendous comments from our elected officials, both local, state, and congressional, regarding the situation we have in Hidalgo County. As y'all are aware, the levee construction for the whole area in Hidalgo County is about an $8 million project. The section that we're undertaking at this time is about $26 to $28 million. With the help of our congressman, we've been able to secure monies. to the tune of about $15 million for this levee project. And as the commissioner said, it will stay in the lower Rio Grande Valley. We are looking at our senatorial side to try to get this money boosted back up to the $15 million. They have taken it down to $10 million, and we hope those items will be corrected. Our trip to Washington was very successful in getting their attention regarding this. The levee construction is a long-term project. By long-term, we're hoping to get it completed in less time than the IBWC has scheduled. Their money or their improvements are dictated by Congress as to how quickly funds can come to the project. We're hoping to be able to utilize some of the bond issue money that the county voted for, the district voted for in November to expedite this matter. Through the senator's help, we're looking at drawing some legislative language to recapture those funds to keep this project expedited and moving forward. We are looking to start working on the first section, which is from Peñitas down San Luis immediately. Once the MOU is signed, we'll enter into what we call a work authorization with the IBWC for specific items. We're hoping to continue those work authorizations on the rest of the levee improvements required in Hidalgo County. This is the beginning of the project. We are working closely with FEMA to make sure that the certification comes about and the new maps that do come out are not going to negatively impact the community growth that we have over here. But again, I'd like to applaud our elected officials, from the congressman to our senators to my board of directors. To Mayor Salinas is very adamant, even though the whole county doesn't revolve around mission, it is an integral part of it. It's one of the cogs in it. And the district has responsibility for all of Hidalgo County, not just the city of Mission or McAllen itself. But I think it's through the efforts of mayors like Mayor Salinas over here that get everybody's attention to move forward and to push these projects from a secondary burner to a primary burner that helps us help me do my job and move forward. Sir.
The mayor has to close.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
We don't want to thank all of you for being here. Godfrey takes advantage because he used to work for me in 1981, so that's how long he's been with the county. And he had been there with the county way before, and I'm not going to tell you how long, but we got to blame Walker for worshiping him. But now I think we start the signing.
Lock the doors before Commissioner Marin walks out.
What's the date today?
It's 16.
So that's 16. Puro dinero.
Que se entienda, JD.
Put your room in.
I'm sure
Y
once
lo pone 7/21/07.
yeah,
Sí, en
7/21
la
is when
copia
they
del
try
commission
to
lo pone 7/21.
Get them all over here.
We'll send you equipment to move it down here.
Commissioner, can we get an advance start in the Cuellar? That was a road.